In today's Ink It Up tutorial, we're going to be creating this fun little note card. Actually, we'll create a couple of them because I don't like to just do one. And we will use several products from our new January to June mini catalog by Stampin' Up. So let's get started. I'm going to share some of the products I'm using, and then later on, you'll see them come into play. I decided after playing with this new Gilded Leafing that I wanted it to be on the ice cream, sort of like sprinkled on, sort of like icing or drippings. And I just love the gold Gilded Leafing, so I'll get into all that. But I'm also going to show you at the end of this how you can cover an entire ice cream cone. Hey, Crystal and Janet. Entire ice cream cone with gold. Okay, so I have a variation of this, and I also have a variation of this ice cream cone project, and Yvonne too. Hello, Yvonne. All right, so this, just so you can see it on the front of the container, this is the Gilded Leafing. So it's not that I used it up. It's just that when I was doing my embellishment share, I shared it with one of my team members, and it actually expanded into a gigantic bowl here. So see what I mean? This is my half. So I've already covered some ice cream cones. I opened up the jar and it totally expanded into a bowl, and then I gave her half of it. So because I didn't know how much I would need, and sure enough, like it kind of lasts like a long time. And it's probably the messiest project you'll ever see on my Ink It Up tutorial when you see flakes flying everywhere. All right, so I didn't even mark off the pages because I'm using so many products. So we'll just get to them as I go. So this stamp set here, You Are Amazing. Hi, Anne. Hey, you're the one I shared it with. Cool. Well, now you get to see another way to use it, because I do things in unconventional ways. I didn't even have the suite it came with. Okay, so You Are Amazing. I'm using this stamp here, You Are Amazing. From this You Are Amazing project kit, you can buy the stamp set separately. So that's on page 7. So I'm using this stamp here, You Are Amazing. Okay, let's keep going. And now I'm just kind of going through what I'm using. Inside this Valentine's area of the catalog, there's these really neat little cards. I'm using these sweet little Valentine's cards and more. That's this little sweet little Valentine cards and more. And it's going to be making sense when I use the coordinating colors from it. So I'll just tell you the coordinating colors, because I'm going to have to move this catalog out of the way when I do my project. Calypso Coral. Okay, Calypso Coral, that's this color here. Gold. Of course, gold. That's why I decided to use this with the gold foiling, because it already had like so many gold flecks in it. It had so many gold things. Melon Mambo. That's sort of well, I don't think you see it in here. Melon Mambo. Oh, it's this one. Okay. It's this one here. Melon Mambo. Okay. The sort of pinkish. And Petal Pink and Pool Party. Okay. So Petal Pink is there, and Pool Party is this. Pool Party. I use some Pool Party cardstock. Now, you may recall, if you saw my last video on Paper Pumpkin, and I showed you how to make a box, and I had messed up one of my boxes. Like, this is from the Paper Pumpkin kit this month. It's called Sending Hearts. And I accidentally cut my box while I was in the live tutorial, because that's what happens when you go live. You end up messing up things. Well, then I thought, this is Petal Pink. This goes with this, and this would make a good bottom of the ice cream cone. So just so you know where I got the bottom of the ice cream cone, that's from this Paper Pumpkin kit called Sending Hearts. But you can get the bottom of an ice cream cone just by stamping it as well. Okay, so that's where I got it, Petal Pink. So now let's move on. You're So Cool. The You're So Cool stamp. I'm using lots of products, but don't worry if you don't have all these products. You can still make amazing cards without it. We'll get back to the fine art floral. You can still do what I'm doing with whatever you have, and get as far as you can. All right, this here, You're So Cool, is from this Sweet Ice Cream stamp set. Sweet Ice Cream stamp set. When you get the stamp set and the punch together, Ice Cream Cone Builder Punch, you save 10%. So 17 and 18, but together, there should be a bundle somewhere. Looking for the bundle. Here it is, over here. $31.50 for this bundle. This is a must-have bundle if you're going to get something in this mini catalog to try out. This is just going to be timeless. Look at these beautiful sentiments. Happy birthday, thank you. You melt my heart, treat yourself. Beautiful cursives, and then you got the other little sayings, okay? So that's the bundle. I'm using that bundle. Here's the bundle. Okay. And what else am I using? I'm going to get back to the Gilded Leafing. I have it marked off on my page. And now this catalog is just amazing. I have to use the index for the next one. It's something about ovals. Ovals, page 65. I have to figure out where that is. Page 65 is this punch here. I'm using this punch here. It's called oval, double oval punch. Okay, I'm using this because it fit my sentiment, you are amazing and you're so cool. Where's the card? The card's already buried. Well, you know what I mean. The card that I showed at the beginning of this video, we'll find it in a minute. That it fits these two sentiments. Okay. And lastly, oh, not lastly, this one is from the annual catalog. I got the little hearts from this little guy. This is the Dog Builder Punch annual catalog. Everything that I'm talking about will be listed in the description of this video eventually. It takes me a while to get to it, to list all the products I'm using. Here it is. There we go. There we go. These are the hearts from the Dog Builder Punch. These are the double ovals. You got the big oval and the small oval. These layer together, but I couldn't layer them because the sentiments, like this went out to the edge of the big one. Then you got the Ice Cream Builder Punch, and let me see what else. Oh, the Gilded Leafing, and that's it. So then that's the last thing I used for this project. Okay, so go back to this page. I don't have this suite called Fine Art Floral because I'm just all flowered out. Hey, to each his own, right? But I didn't get this suite, but I did get the paper because I was doing my paper share. I did get the acetate, and I had to get this. I had to get this number 6 and number 3 to try it. So I said, I'm getting this. It's called the Heat and Stick Powder. I said, okay, how hard can this be? I'm going to try this, right? I like mixed media. I like to get my hands dirty. And then number 3, Gilded Leafing Embellishment. So that is from the Fine Art Floral Suite. All right, so I opened it up, and we're going to start with that. We'll get back to this stamping in a second. We'll start by making our little ice cream cones. We can get back to the others. Okay, so I started out by opening up the little heat and stick powder. And I just was like, okay, I guess I'm supposed to use Versamark. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to use Versamark, right? So I opened it up, and I sure enough, I'm not really into instructions that much, but I was like, I better make sure I'm supposed to use Versamark. It says, stamp with Versamark ink, pour powder on the wet ink, tap off the excess powder, and pour it into the bottle. Cover with glitter, tap off excess. Well, I'm not using glitter to cover it with. I'm using Gilded Leafing. So I got my Versamark stamp pad, and I tried to do this a couple times with my ice cream cones, and they just didn't come out. They weren't getting good coverage. Right? So then I started inking up. Oh, thank you. We'll put the card there for you to look at here. That's the card we're making if anyone just came in late. I'm going to make a lot of these, too. I'm going to make thank you and you're amazing cards. I just think they'll be just little great little thank yous for customers and just great little Valentine cards or just little sending love cards. So I'm putting some more Versamark refill on it because my ice cream cones were not getting good coverage. Okay, and so this is just sort of like, I call this Versamark invisible ink. So that's what it's invisible ink. It helps when you wet something, it helps things stick to it. All right, so now we're going to take I'm going to show you the little sweet little Valentines. Okay, or the little Valentines things I was just talking about. These are the cards. Okay, so we're going to make this card here. This is great for the bottom of the ice cream cone, this one too. And we're going to do it with the top though, because it already has stripes on it, right? So it's already cool for the top of the ice cream cone. So we're going to use that for the top of the ice cream cone. We'll use that for the card itself. And we'll make a couple, right? We always make a couple things on this channel, just because I like to, make most of the time and how we do it. Now these little pieces come with it, so we'll be using these little pieces. These come with that little sweet little Valentines. They're already gold foiled little cards. So we'll be using this piece to stamp onto and punch out because it's already like colored for us, layered for us. So I even cut off a piece. We'll use that for the top of the border. I already cut off a piece so I didn't have to try to bring one more thing into the camera, which is my my paper trimmer. I said I better get this piece ready so I don't have to bring that into the camera. All right, so we're going to use that piece. Now let's take let's cover that up for a second. Let's just fold the cards, get them out of the way. I use a little spatula when I fold my cards. Okay, just so they don't pop open all over the place. And that's the petal pink side. I like note cards. You don't have to write as much and they still mean as much, you know, so that you don't have to write as long of a message. Okay, we'll use that one. All right, now open that back up. We were using the stripe one, so we're going to get the, I already have one that's already like that. We're going to get the ice cream builder punch. And we're going to make, we're just going to, see how it's at an angle? We're going to punch it so that the stripes are at an angle. Maybe like that. Here, sometimes you have to make a little room here by getting your little snips and getting in there so that the punch can fit at the right angle. Hope that makes sense. I'm just trying to get in there. There we go. We want that to be at sort of like an angle because I just think it looks cool with the at an angle. And then we'll get another one just because while I'm at it, in case I mess up terribly anyway, I have another one ready to go. I've only used the Gilded Leafing a couple times, and I like how it came out all the time, but I just didn't get good coverage the first try. I think I made 3 ice cream cones so far. There we go. That's another one. And I'll save these pieces for because these will make good bottom of the ice cream cones. If you don't have a paper pumpkin kit to make the bottom of your ice cream cone, those little stripes will look nice. And also just stamping it in general. All right, so now we have our tops of our ice cream cone. All right, let's do this. Now we got our Versamark. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and dip it in there. Okay, so if you stamped it with the stamp that comes with it, the stamp's not going to give you good coverage. I tried that first. This doesn't give you really good coverage. And there's no reason to use that anyway because you're going to try to cover it. You don't want it. You're not stamping this in ink anyway. It already has a beautiful pattern on it. So really, you just need to get the Versamark onto this. So I just dip it in there, kind of like dipping an ice cream cone. So I need to show you this is just to get this really sticky, and I'm not getting it on my thumb. I'm leaving my thumb off because I don't want the bottom of this covered. I'm going to do the bottom of the other one. See how that is? Well, let me make sure I'm in focus. Let me tilt my light, and you got to see this coverage because that's why I inked up my Versamark again. I don't know if you could see that. I hope you could see that coverage. It's sticky. Okay, now I'm going to take the heat and stick powder. This is the heat and stick powder. It looks just like embossing powder. Okay? Hopefully you can see that. I poured it on the bottom of my little tray. This is a topper tray from the top of the storage system. We have a storage system. It's Stampin' Up! For our markers and things and our ink, and that's just the top of a storage system. And I'm just sticking it right in there. I'm just dipping it in. Okay, so you got that. That's what it looks like. Tap it off. And then you need your little tweezers or something, your clothespin, tweezers. I'm using tweezers. I'm just using my tweezers, but you can use your clothespin. Okay, let me make sure my light is in there so you can see this coverage because this is the heat and stick now. We're doing the heat and stick. We'll do another one in a minute, but close this and move your powder away when you heat it up, and then I'll heat the other one in a minute. So we'll heat both of them. Just moving that away. Okay, I'm just gonna take my heat tool. See, here's the heat tool with the 2 settings. See the 2 settings? 1 and 2. I just went ahead and moved it all the way up to 2. 2 is the high setting. And I'm just heating the powder. It should crystallize. Okay, but you don't want to start bending your ice cream cone. Just let it crystallize. See that? It should be, I hope you can see that. They're forming balls. Okay. It's crystallized. Now, real quickly, stick your get your Gilded Leafing. Like I said, it's going to make a big mess. Stick that down and start sticking your Gilded Leafing on there. You got to get your Gilded Leafing while it's hot. See, I told you it's going to be a mess. Let me put that in there. We're going to do another one in a minute, but you got to rub it on there while it's hot. Oh, and it didn't really stick that well. So I got to do it again because the powder didn't stick on there. Or I didn't melt the powder enough. We're just going to go ahead and... So what I did for that, in case I didn't want to dip this gold back into my... I just stick the Versamark right on there. That's what I did last time. Because I didn't want to get my Versamark all full of gold. You know what I mean? I didn't want to get this, all these little gold flecks stuck all over my Versamark. So I went like that. Okay. And I'm just going to heat that part again. You don't need to heat that part again. It already has some nice gilded leafing on it. I'm just dipping into the powder. Okay. And I'm going to take my tweezers and I'm just heating that part again. These little things aren't supposed to melt. You're not supposed to melt. Oops, I better move that off to the side. It blows all over the place. That's what happened to me earlier. It blew all over the place. In fact, you should see my room. I have gilded leafing flying all over my room right now. All right, so we're going to heat that up. But that's okay. I mean, it's fun. It's totally fun. It's crystallizing. Okay. You don't need to melt it very much for it to crystallize. But if it doesn't work, you just, there it goes. It works perfect. Yes, that's exactly what I want. I want my ice cream cone to look like that. Yeah, hard pass. Yeah, you don't need to heat it up that long, but if it doesn't crystallize, things don't stick to it. I'm loving my ice cream cone, and that's what I wanted to show you. That is exactly what I wanted. Now that you don't, it says to heat again to set it. That's if you had glitter. If you, like on the instructions, it says heat again to set it, but you don't need to heat this again to set it. Because this is already sticking. I mean, you can if you want for a second. But I mean, I wouldn't, the gilding leafing doesn't melt. It's not like you're melting, right? You're not really melting the gilded leafing. It's not meltable powder. It's more of just like fine powdery stuff. So you don't really need to heat set it again because it just sticks to the, because your heat and stick was hot. Okay, so let's do that again. We move this over. We're doing it again, and then we're going to do it to the bottom of our ice cream cones as well. Okay, we're going to get the Versamark out. We're going to dip it. In fact, we're going to dip it on this side because it's not very sticky. We're going to dip it. I'm just doing it faster this time. Dip, dip. And by the way, did I say hi to Jen? I think I did say hi to Jen. Dip, dip, dip into the powder. Close this. Get your tweezers. Heat this. Let it crystallize. Okay, it's crystallized. Get this over there quickly to get that on there. Oh, that one came out nicer this time. Perfect. Very happy with that. Okay, and then if you want, you can do another little pass. Let's move this off. Just move that. You can do a little heat set if you want. I mean, all that does is it gets rid of all the little fine things that are going to get all over your envelope anyway. You know, like all the little fine powder. All right, good. Now we're going to do the bottom of the ice cream cones. I'm happy with my tops of my ice cream cones. And like I said, I always like to make more than one when I'm doing this Ink It Up. You just like watching me make a beautiful mess. Thank you. I just like to make more than one thing when I'm doing a tutorial, because then when I'm done my tutorial, like I have all these things done. Like it's like you're crafting along with me, right? So I feel like I get a lot more done that way. All right, so we're going to do the bottoms of the ice cream cones. We'll just do those. I do one at a time. The reason is one at a time so it's wet. You know what I mean? So it's nice and wet. I'm just doing the bottom like that. Dipping in the bottom. Dipping in the heat and stick. In the bottom of my tray. Hi, Tammy from Wyoming. Which a beautiful, beautiful place. Oh. I think of like Yellowstone. Okay, and I'm just gonna, that's the powder. Yep. It is God's country. And see how that's like, see how that's already like crystallized that quickly? That one was quick. And you're gonna stick the little leaves on there. Nope, it needs to heat a little bit more. There goes, the powder's gonna go everywhere. Just watch. Whoop, powder's gonna go. Yeah, it's, I'm just trying to stick it in there like that. Ah, there we go. It's sticking on there. That's what you want, like some like I said, an incredible mess of powder. And the reason I'm just doing the bottom of the ice cream cone is like it's going to be covered anyway when I do my double dip. It's a double dip ice cream cone, right? So I'm doing like the bottom. Why waste? It's not that you can't cover the whole thing in powder. I'm going to show you an example where I covered one in powder at the end of this. But you don't need to cover it all in powder because you're covering that up. It's not going to be seen. In other words, you'd just be wasting your gold leafing. Not that you don't have a ton of it in the package. Again, I'm just dipping on the bottom here. Versamark. I think I'm done with the Versamark after that because the other ice cream cone I'm going to show you we're not actually going to make. I'm going to just show you it. Dipping into my heat and stick powder. So I took some courses out there in Yellowstone National Park, science courses, and we got to go over Yellowstone, and then I went to the Tetons too. Oh, it's just gorgeous. Gorgeous place in a country. It's like best kept secret. Okay. Crystallizing. Cool, Tammy. Tammy did too. By the way, I'm using a silicone mat. I need some flakes. More flakes. It's like, nope, it didn't really stick. And if it didn't stick, you can either heat it, or in some cases, I think I just need to add some Versamark. So you're going to watch me make a big mess again. I'm just adding Versamark straight to my ice cream cone. Because when it doesn't stick, it means that it's not that I didn't have enough powder on there. It means I didn't have enough Versamark on there to stick the powder to. So we'll move this off to the side. Because if you don't have something to stick the powder to, you can't heat it up, right? So it doesn't heat up right. Even though it looks like it crystallized. I think after this, I just need to make the rest of these because I got a huge mess going on. All right, it looks like it crystallized. Bring the silicone mat. Ha! I love it. All right, there we go. We got some ice cream. Gold ice cream. I have a feeling we're going to be having, maybe we'll have this next year in silver because that would be neat for you know, with the snowflakes and stuff, with the winter scenes. And actually, or white, some kind of white or silver golded leafing would make it look more frosty. But I'm trying to make my ice cream look regal, royal. All right, so now we can just start decorating. Let's do the decorating. We're going to do You're So Cool and You Are Amazing. So we'll do the You're So Cool. That's going to be on this one. And for that, we're going to use little stamping block C. We're going to use the Sweet Ice Cream stamp set. And we're going to use a coordinating color. This is photopolymer. So photopolymer stamp sets. Just stick them right onto your stamping block. And we're going to use the color that's coordinated. Chocolate stamp set. Yeah, I don't have that chocolate stamp set. Nothing's better than, I did have it, but I gave it as a prize. That chocolate. Okay, here we go. Calypso Coral. I'm using Calypso Coral because Calypso Coral is a coordinating color. That's why I'm using Calypso Coral, because it said it when you open up these envelopes. So we're going to do You're So Cool. Always do it on the mat first before you do it on your pretty paper. Okay. And now we can punch this out. We can do, oh, you know what? We might as well do what You're an Amazing one. Let's see. Well, we could do the You're Amazing after that. Here, you know what? I don't want to waste this. Let's do. What I'm saying is, if I don't cut this now, I'm going to waste it on a partial circle. So I'm just going to do that. Partial oval. Right? But if I cut that now, I can get more ovals out of it. Well, we'll get that later. We'll use that as a border. But there's another one we'll do. You're So Cool on that one. It wouldn't really fit the big oval, but because I already partially used it. So You're So Cool. All right, good. And we're leaving this open because now we're going to do You Are Amazing. We're taking the You Are Amazing from this You Are Amazing stamp set, which is a cling stamp set. And this is the only stamp so far I've used out of it. I do have the kit. I do have the You Are Amazing birthday kit. No, I used the stars as well. I used the stars and the You Are Amazing. I haven't used the other stamps yet, but I will be making this kit. I have a plan to do a video on how to make this kit, the birthday kit. It's just that after I did the flowering cactus product medley, I'm a little bit burnt out from doing kits right now. I'm taking a break and trying different things with different stamp sets for a while. Then I'm going to go back and try to tackle the whole kit. So I'm getting, there's the gold sticking on it. So You Are Amazing. I put that on a long block. You could have put it on a block D. I have a block D sitting here as well. But I'm just putting it on a long block. Okay, this is a, when I say long, it's an H block. Stamp it on there first. It's going to take a couple times for this one because it's not photopolymer. It is cling. And cling stamp sets, you got to stamp a couple times before they come out. And let's see if we can't use this piece here. If not, we'll use a piece of Pool Party cardstock. I think that's what I did for the card. But if we can use this, we will. If this will fit. Yes, it will fit. So I can just use part of this card. Or I can use Pool Party cardstock. The advantage of using this card is that you got those lines in there and some texture already. So the nice thing about having this little card kit is you got all this texture and colors and gradients and lines and gold foiling already going on with the cards. So you don't have to do a whole lot of extra. You already got your... It does so much for you already by having that. Then I'm using the punch and I'm going to go. You Are Amazing. Always punch upside down. I will always look at it. Never try to punch like this way or you'll never center it right. Hi, Anna. Nice to, you can join me. What we're doing is we're making this card. These cards. There's You Are Amazing. And I will go ahead and do another one. Because I'm here. Right? I'm here. I'm just going to do another one. You Are Amazing. Make sure it's flat when you stamp it. You could use your silicone mat for stamping, but you know my silicone mat has all that foiling on it right now. So we're not going to try to stamp on that. And then we're going to just do that. So the reason I did it near the edge of the card is because I only wanted the big oval. If I would have went in there, I would have wasted the small, I just do it near the edge so I can punch out the big oval. So now we have those two ready. So now we're going to take those and get the gold flecks out of my stamp set. These are my gold flecks from my... Hi, Deborah, from Texas. Don't mess with Texas. As my husband says, he's a Texan. All right, we're taking the dimensionals. I probably would use bigger dimensionals. Let's see. If I have bigger ones. But let's just do this though. We put the dimensionals on, but let's not seed it yet. Meaning, we need to seed it once we get the ice cream cone. You don't want to get this in the way of your ice cream cone. So we have to build the ice cream cone, right? Make sure that's not in the way before we put that on, and then we can put the You're So Cool anywhere we want because it's small. So we're going to build our little ice cream cone again with dimensionals. Always use dimensionals. So let's build. Since this one has more on top, now we'll put that one together with that one. And we'll put that one together with this one, only because it kind of has the same sort of layering, same sort of density. I'm just putting a dimensional there and popping up the ice cream cone on a dimensional. Showing off that gold leafing. Pop up this one on a dimensional. And then stick a mini dimensional back there so it doesn't flop. So it doesn't droop. Because you want that to be up high too. Now for the bottom part of the ice cream cone, I didn't put that. I put that straight onto the card. I'm using a piece of my paper pumpkin kit. But that's only because it's petal pink. I'm using a piece of my petal pink box I messed up. But you can use whatever you want for the bottom of your ice cream cone. I'm just using petal pink. Okay, and just getting it diagonal there. There's one. I can make it diagonal like that. That's kind of cool. Okay, Okay, and what I did for the edges of it, you might not have noticed it, but this is what I did to make it just have some dimension. Since we are in the Ink It Up, I took my Calypso Coral marker, because again, Calypso Coral is a coordinating color. Plus, when you use our paper pumpkin kits, the cardstock is not dyed all the way through like it is with some other things. So you tend to get sometimes when you punch the edge of a cardstock from a paper pumpkin kit, you get those white edges. And so to cover up, to fix any white edges, I just was using the edge of a Calypso Coral marker. And also, it also just kind of defines the edge of your ice cream cone bottom, and it just sort of makes it pop. Now I'm going to just layer that up. So before you attach that, make sure you don't attach this yet, but make sure there's enough room. Like accidentally, I might want to go too close to the edge of the card, right? So you don't want to attach your ice cream cone over there, and you're like, oops, now my ice cream's hanging off the edge of the card, right? So leave that there as a reference. Also kind of leave this there as a reference before you put your card together. So you make sure that you have enough room for everything. And I do. So now I can attach that to the bottom. I'm attaching that straight to the bottom of the card with my Stampin' Seal Plus. This is just the seal. You can see I have ink all over my hands, and it's even getting on the bottom of the card. All right. So that's the Stampin' Seal Plus. Just rolling adhesive, and I'm attaching it right there. Okay, we'll do that to the other card as well. And I can see things are shaking. Hi, Patty. And hi, Knittin' Deb's Nook from Wisconsin. Cool, you were you were Stampin' Up in the 90s? Well, we have changed a lot. We don't do wooden stamps anymore except for background stamps. And we have a lot more mixed media products. But other than that, Stampin' Up's the same awesome company run by the same family. And we've grown like tremendously. I'm glad to be part of this company. I've been buying stuff way longer than I've been a demonstrator. I was a customer. I'm just sticking it right there, okay? So now we can layer up this guy. Stick a dimensional there. Layer up this ice cream cone. Stick a little dimensional there so it doesn't droop in the back. I mean, it's not going to droop anyway, but I mean, just stick another one there. Okay, and we're going to layer this one there. Well, we're going to put the You Are Amazing there for a second. Make sure it doesn't get in the way. Good, good, good. Did I peel off the top? Actually, I could have doubled this up. You know what? If you don't want it to droop, you need two of these. You need two of these little guys so it doesn't droop. I'll show you that in the other one before I attach it, because when I say droop, it's not the right height. There. Now it's not going to droop. Okay, where did I put the other one? Here. You need to double up this one because it's two. There's one under there and there's another dimensional. So you need two dimensionals on that one so it doesn't droop. See? For it to be the same height as the other one. And there we go. And then for these, just one layer of dimensionals. You Are Amazing. Oops, I should have done the edges. Do you see how I did the edges? I didn't do that, so I'll go ahead and do it for that card. The edges meaning I also took the Calypso Coral marker and I went like this around the edges. Just to give it that little edge. Oh, you can use a sponge too if you want. If you don't have a marker, you can use a sponge to ink around the edges, and that just gives it a little bit of dimension. I mean, you probably can't tell. They're just little things, but I did it on that one. I didn't do it on that one. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but these are little details. And you always want to put things on the contrasting part of the card. So the reason I have the pool party part up on here, the petal pink part, is for contrast. The reason I have this one down here is for contrast. So you want this to contrast with the bottom, see? Like you want the colors to contrast so that it pops. Okay, and for those you want to put dimensional. I think I could have used two minis instead of one big one to keep it from drooping. Say two mini dimensionals might be better than one big one. Okay, good. Now I'm going to put the hearts. The hearts are just little scraps, and I'm getting the hearts from here, from this pumpkin. Not pumpkin. Why did I say pumpkin? I don't know. From this dog builder punch. Dog builder punch, using up my scraps. And I'm not going to do the border on this one, but you could see that I did a border. I'm not doing the border on this card just because I forgot to leave room for it, and I totally forgot about it, but that's okay. I'm going to do some petal pink. Oh, no, I did gold. I did gold for the other heart. The gold was from this, by the way. The gold is from, and I tried using a flower, and I didn't think that worked out. Just so you know, though, the flower would work. It's called the Small Bloom Punch. I just didn't think the flower looks good here. It didn't go with my ice cream theme, but that would, I mean, it would work, but I just think hearts went better with my theme. Anyway, I'm using the brushed metallic cardstock. It's gold brushed metallic cardstock. That's what I'm using for my hearts. Okay, I'm going to take mini dimensionals and put them on my hearts. And I'm just going to put 3 hearts. Because you always do 3 things in 3s. When you have your embellishments, do it in 3s. We'll do a blue one. A pool party. Not a blue. It's a pool party. Do a pool party heart. Oops. There we go. So there's a finished card. That's one that's done. 3 embellishments, 2 sentiments, gilded leafing. I mean, who wouldn't like this card for encouragement and for fun and just to send love around? Okay, I'd probably just give it even as a gift, and they can reuse it even. You know, you can even give them a little envelope, which I don't know if I showed you how cool those envelopes were. I will if I didn't. Here we go. I don't think I did. You got to see that there's even gold leafing on the envelopes. Let's see if there's 2 kinds of envelopes. Yes, there is. Just look at this. So you could put those in these beautiful envelopes, right? And you could even give someone cards. You could, oh, you know what would be nice? Is a card set. You can make someone a set of note cards, or you could give them this in a card and let them give it to someone else and bless someone else with it. I mean, there's so much. Or you can write a note, because like I said, I like small note cards because it lets me write thank you notes without having to write my whole life story. You know, like you don't have to fill it up like you do a regular card. You can write a short note, short and sweet. Okay, let me just do this. Accidentally took off the edge of that one. And we need one more color. We already got gold. We need one of these hearts. In the pool party. Oh, what kit am I using? Kit? I'm using this kit. When I say kit, I didn't mean kit. It's just this little. Not kit. I guess it's a kit. It's a note card kit. Let me find it again. Okay, so now that we got our cards done, I'm going to show you my other cards, and I'll go over that again because so many people came later. You need to just go over that part again. So that part, whoa. When I say kit, it's this little Valentine kit. It's just kind of like the best kept secret in the catalog. It's like, you know, when I saw these, I bought a bunch of them now. I have 3 packs of these now because I just love these. It is called Sweet Little Valentines Cards and More. So it's a kit in that it comes with, the Sweet Little Valentines Cards and More comes with, let's see, 10 cards, 10 envelopes, beautiful coordinating envelopes, and of course 10 of these little things, which are double-sided, and you get this kind too. Okay, and you get 10. You get these cards. So I guess it is a kit. It's a kit, and that's what I was using for this. I mean, it's some sort of a mini kit. It's only $10. 10 cards. I mean, hello. With all the gold foiling, it's a no-brainer. Add it to your cart next time you get anything at our store. Because this is just like, you don't need these for Valentine's Day, as you can see, right? It doesn't matter that they don't come in time for Valentine's Day. They're just amazingly awesome. You use them for what I'm doing now. All right, so now I got a couple other examples to show you before we wrap things up. And there is a link to my store in the description, so you can look up these things. But eventually I'll have them linked. I will have these cards linked. I mean, all these different items you can use. All right, so what we have done so far is use. And this is the one I had ahead of time. I put that little border, and I forgot to put the border on this one. But I did have it all ready to put the border. You see what I'm saying? Like, thank you, Crystal. Okay, great deal, she said. See, I had the border all ready to put the border on there with glue, and I still can. But I would have probably moved this down a little more if I was going to do that, so I'll use it for later. You see what I mean? If I'm going to put this border on, I don't want to block it with this sentiment. You don't need the border, but that's just another level of detail. All right, so to go over what we just did, and then I'm going to add to this. and show you an extension of this. Extension. It'll be like your extra credit homework, okay? So you can make your note cards using this little bottom of the ice cream cone from the paper pumpkin kit, Sending Love. It's petal pink. The colors match. The petal pink colors match. Just kind of, when you punch it out with the ice cream builder punch it at an angle. Probably that's the best angle. I think that one looks the best, this kind of angle. All right, so then you're going to use the ice cream builder punch to punch out your pieces ahead of time, okay? From these cards, okay? From the sweet little Valentine's cards I showed you. You're punching out these ahead of time. These. You're going to dip them in Versamark ink. You're going to dip them in Versamark ink, which makes them sticky. It's like invisible ink. Then you're going to take that Versamark ink ice cream cone and you're going to dip it into the heat and stick powder that you pour down first onto a mat, onto paper, or onto something. Heat and stick powder. It's like fine embossing powder, but it's glue. When you melt it, it's like glue. After you do that, after you get the thing to be sticky, you're going to take your little mat, your little layer, your little silicone mat or whatever you put it on, and some of this gold or gilded leafing, and you're going to rub it all over your ice cream cone. It's going to stick. You don't need to heat set it again. It'll just stick. But if you want, for good measure, you can heat stick it again. Okay, then you're going to take your Calypso Coral ink, because Calypso Coral is a coordinating color, and you're going to ink up a piece of Pool Party that you cut out of these cards, or a piece of Pool Party cardstock. That's what I had done for my original one. Here's my Pool Party cardstock. That's what I used on this card here. Pretty close. This one is just better because it has texture on it. But look at the regular cardstock and how the ink absorbs better. Just so you can see the difference. When you stamp onto Stampin' Up cardstock, the ink holds better. It's bolder. It's brighter. When you stamp onto the things from the card kit, it's dull. It's more dull. It's not as bright, but it's still Pool Party color. Okay, it's still a coordinating color. So Calypso Coral. Then we stamped You're So Cool. Okay, so we got the You Are Amazing from there. Just going over this in case someone came late. And then then we got the sweet ice cream, and we got the You're So Cool from the sweet ice cream. And we used the double oval punch for that. The double oval punch in the new catalog to punch those sentiments out. And then lastly, we used an annual catalog punch. I'm just putting them in order like that. An annual catalog punch. Where'd it go? The Doggy Builder. This one, to get the hearts from. It's just a great size heart. But of course, use whatever you want for your punches. I mean, whatever you have. If you don't have a heart, I think the flower would look okay. But I think that would look cute there. In fact, you don't need to fill empty space. I just have this thing about like, ooh, there's an empty space. Let me put some more stuff there, right? So you don't have to put anything there. In fact, You're So Cool could be punched, and moved up. All right, you don't even have to have You're So Cool in there. It would still look cool. Okay, so now let me show you something else I created with this set. So this is made. So the ice cream sweet ice cream. What was it called? There's a sweet. Oh my gosh, I already forgot the name of it. Let's open it up to the cat. There. So that's what I made with just stamping. So you can make ice cream cones stamping and using the coordinating colors. But as you can see, the sweet is versatile. Versatile. I always have a trouble saying that word. All right, so you could do so much more with it. I have to go to my index for a second because my catalog is a hot mess. Sweet ice cream corner. That's what it's called. And that's where I made that entire thing from Ice Cream Corner. See? So that's why I wanted to show you this first, because I did use these little sprinkles on my other card. So you could take the nice paper and and the set and the ice cream builder, and you can make these cool ice cream cones with these coordinating colors. So that's the designer series paper. That's just using coordinating ink. So you can ink up your ice cream, you can put sprinkles on top, and that's the double oval punch with the Oso Ombre paper. All right, but you can take and go one step further with what I just did here, and you can use an entirely different suite, and you can do something totally different with this. So when you get your suites, think about using them with other products. Think about how you can. So I took the Fine Art Floral suite. I took this paper, Fine Art Floral Designer Series paper, and I thought, let me make a gold ice cream cone and let's fill it up the gold all the way. So here's my example of that. I made a royal ice cream cone using, this is Fine Art Floral paper. Fine Art Floral, that's Designer Series paper. All the Fine Art Floral colors, except I think I took that little piece from somewhere else. this little I think that's terracotta tile at the bottom of that ice cream cone. And then I used all fine art floral paper and I covered it completely, smushing smushing the Versamark. I just literally took Versamark, put it all over my thumbs, put it all over a piece of paper. And then I made the Gilded Leafing fit all over the top of the ice cream cone. Then I needed some sprinkles on top. So, but the other sprinkles didn't really match. The sprinkles were, because the sprinkles matched this paper. So I just took some of the sprinkles. And then I thought, oh, I'll take some rhinestones I had from here. I don't know if we still have these. I think we do. If not, they were recently retired. I took some rhinestones and made some sprinkles with some Noble Peacock rhinestones. Noble Peacock rhinestones were something that was in our catalog, and they were small enough to make for sprinkles on my ice cream cone. So that's my royal ice cream cone. So that's an extension, and this is Pool Party. This is Pool Party. That's an extension of using the technique we just showed you. So you can just make a triple layer of ice cream, and you can stamp these little things, these little textures inside your paper for the bottom of your ice cream. You can stamp your own sprinkles on top. Okay, so there's so much you can do with it. I'm just going to show you those sprinkles. Okay, I had to remove my microphone for a second. So in that suite, those of you that got my embellishment share, which I still have a couple more available, at thepaperedchef.com, that's where I was including those with my embellishment share. So that's it. So that's how you do it. So I hope you enjoyed this Ink It Up tutorial. I hope you have ideas of what you can do now with these different products and how you can use so many different kinds of products together and extend them into different ways. That's all for now. This is the Papered Chef. Thank you for joining me today.